So it's me again. It's currently just before 6 o'clock on the morning of Thursday, the 12th of June, 2025. And I'm setting off on what the sat-nav is telling me is going to be about 9 hours, but I'm figuring more likely 12 because I'm planning on, you know, stopping a couple of times and I'm not going to be doing 70 all the way. So let me explain to you what we're going to be attempting within the next 48 hours. So I'm currently just north of London and I'm going to be travelling up all of today to Fort William in the north of Scotland, where I will then be, probably in exactly 24 hours time, preparing to embark on the Three Peaks Challenge, starting of course at Ben Nevis. Let me just go over why I want to do the Three Peaks in this particular way. Because most people who do the Three Peaks Challenge are driven between the mountains, and they pretty much, their challenge consists of the hiking, which is a legitimate, you know, tier of the challenge. With the 24 hours, it's going to be cutting it very close pretty much every attempt, right? Because drive time is about half the day. Drive time is going to be about 12 hours. So that immediately gives you a set boundary. You know, the only time you're going to be able to shave off is through climbing the mountains. And as it stands, adding together the average time it takes to climb each three peak and the minimum drive time between them comes out to about 26 hours. So I'm gonna need to shave off 2 hours across the peaks. I will need to refuel at least once during the trip. Hang on, before I really get going, let me just double check that I've got everything. I do not want to get 250 miles north and then be like, oh hang on, I don't have spare GoPro batteries, you know? Where do you think you're all going? And again, right, you can come with me. I am just triple checking that I do have spare GoPro batteries, the clothes, and the shoes. That's all sorted. At minimum, we're good to go. Anxiety at least a little sated. I hit the open road. I experimented with a new passenger camera angle. It needs some work, but I really like the effect. The miles racked up quickly, and after a brief pit stop, I found myself north of the border. After navigating the nightmare that is Glasgow's motorway system, I very quickly found myself in some of the best scenery the UK has to offer. I think the reason why Glencoe is such a gorgeous place to drive through is it makes you feel very small, but like in a good way. The mountains aren't particularly dramatic, but the scale of them and the fact that there's just the one road going through, I think it's the sense of isolation but purpose that Glencoe creates. We've got these huge mountains and this wilderness, one ribbon of connection going through it. I think that's what does it for me. Another 30 minutes on from the town of Glencoe, I reached Fort William, the starting point for my challenge tomorrow. There we go. Premier Inn. Jobs are good. This is Les Hotel. Indicator Russian Remote Hotel 626. Look at this. I forgot how much this cost until I got my booking confirmation out on my phone and I was like, oh, I forgot. It was £158. I suppose it is kind of peak season. Oh, it's weird doing like a room review. Feels like I would just gone straight back to Japan. Larger baths than Japan, I must say. Oh, look at where they've pointed the kettle at the wall and the steam's burnt it. It's no good. It's currently 5:10. We might have a look around the town. Look around the town I did, which consisted of marvelling at the house prices, checking out the old fort from where the town gets its name, and going up and down the high street. It is an actual legit travel tip. If you come to the Premier Inn in Fort William, bear in mind they don't have any USB ports. Loads of regular 3-pin plugs. I thought this might be one, but that's just HDMI. I got an early night so I could be up the next morning sharp and rested for the day's challenge. Just went down to the reception to get some more tea bags, and there was like a group of people who I'm assuming are embarking on the Three Peaks as well, getting into like a minivan. So in my opinion they're cheating, yeah, by being driven there, but that's a way of doing the challenge. That's fine. Think of this as an any percent glitchless run. Alright, just getting changed now. Look at these R2D2 looking socks I got. I think it said it was £4 parking for the whole day. So I'm gonna get me a little coin purse, eh? By the time this ticket expires, it should be done. You join me here at the foot of the highest peak in all the British Isles, Ben Nevis. The challenge starts in about 7 minutes because I want to get 6 o'clock on the dot so make it easier to track. Starts and ends at the car. And looks like we have some competition. Here's the thing, right? Look where all they're parked. See them down there? All parked near where the actual, I suppose, the trail starts, where you go onto the path. And I parked up here because I thought, oh, that'll be right. I can do an intro as loud as I like with no one interfering because I feel self-conscious, right? The whole car park, and they park next to me. Fantastic. Now, weather-wise, we're looking okay today. A couple of showers expected during the climb and or descent. Skyfell Pikes, weather's looking fine. Snowdon, however, is forecast thunderstorms, right? I thought Snowdon was going to be the easiest one because of the easiest path, right? The final stretch is going to be easy, which it may still be, I don't know. But with thunderstorms in as well, that's just like upped the difficulty. I'm not trying to get struck by lightning on a mountain, although that would be legendary content. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get all that much interesting content, because for me, this is actually a challenge. I'm going for a personal best, which is any time, right? Because I've never done this before, but I do want to set the bar decently high because I ain't getting any younger. I'm already, you know, pushing my luck as it is being a chubby boy. But part of the reason why I've come here today is to prove that chubby boys can indeed, I don't know, function. I want to get the phone, unless I just record it through this. Oh, there we go, that's it. Okay, all right, jobs are good. Car's locked. Off we go. Man's got actually jog. Damn son, these shoes, these running shoes that I got, they feel very comfortable to run in. I think I'm probably running at a slower pace than I would on the treadmill at the gym. Of course, I'm going to be narrating. Thing is, what I found with my fitness is I get out of breath very quickly, but I can maintain that for quite a while. I mean, my 5K at the gym is back under half an hour, but honestly, it's not where I would have liked it to be before doing this challenge. Nevertheless, I have confidence. I'm going to make use of these flat parts, and I will join you when I inevitably have to stop for a rest. I'm trying to balance this between being a vlog, a travel video, and an actual physical, you know, challenge, personally, for myself. Upsy daisy. So it's been about 10 minutes, made it a decent way out of thoughts of her. Got my camel pack here, so if I want a drink, at least I don't need to stop. I can't tell if we're catching these people up. They're all wearing blue shirts. Often people will do this as a means of raising money for charity. Don't know how far up I am. About to go to this wooden bridge with this waterfall up there. Currently 6:45, so I'm hoping I feel like a good time. 2.5 hours to the top. For, I don't know, maybe 30% of the way, possibly. I don't know. Just reached this flat part where you get a chance to have a rest. Right. See, here's the part where really I should be making use of these trail running shoes, trainers with like a, you know, a walking boot grip underneath them. And this is the exact kind of path where I should be jogging. But here's the thing, after just climbing all of that, this is a welcome rest. All right. Honestly, maybe on the way down. Yeah, maybe on the way down. But for now, I'm just gonna take this as a rest day. This particular switchback here looks to be roughly the halfway point in terms of just distance, and it's now just about gone 7:15, so time-wise, pretty on schedule. Of course, I expect the rest of this hike to get more difficult from what I remember. There is a constant, steady breeze that's taking the edge off. It's doing real nice. But yeah, onwards and upwards. After the lake, the trail takes a gradual, somewhat smooth incline for about 1 kilometre, passing a waterfall and a stream you must cross before a final volley of switchbacks take you to the straight leading to the summit. I don't think I'm going to make 2.5 hours, but we're going to be close. Look how much the path has levelled out as we round the last corner. You can see where all the people are over there, making okay time. We're pretty much on average at the minute, I reckon. Whoa, look at that down there. It's actually wicked. Look at that. Right then, enough. I keep getting distracted. I keep forgetting that I'm on a challenge. Oh, would you look at that? That would be it. Where those people are standing is the summit. Yeah, look, it's going to be pretty much spot on 3 hours to climb. Hopefully I can make up the time on the descent. Banana peel, apple core. Come on, dude. I know they're biodegradable, but just take them home, guys. What's going on?
Congratulations.
Hey, no worries, you as well. Well done, guys. We have made it to the summit, the highest point in all of the British Isles. There we are. There's locks on here. Okay. There we are. One done. Look at that. Spot. Bang, down we go. Fantastic. All right, one down. Next, you get warm on the ascent. But once you reach a certain altitude, it does get pretty nippy, especially with that wind blowing. This part of the descent is difficult because they call it scree, this type of the sort of loose rocks and the general indication of a route, right? You're going quite steep downhill and your toes are constantly sliding to the front of the shoes. Even though cardiovascularly, even though from a cardio standpoint, it's easier, you don't have anything to push against, you know, which is where these sticks come in handy. You can kind of put them out in front of you and brace yourself, right? So just coming up to what I believe is the halfway point, this particular switchback here by the lake. It's 10 past 10, so it's looking like a little bit over 5 hours. I was thinking of running this next bit, but for the time I'm going to save and the increased risk of falling over, I don't think so. You know what? It's treacherous coming down some of these larger steps sometimes. When it's raining, these shoes are nice, but they're actually quite slippery when they get wet. Now we're on the home stretch again, on the completion side of it. It's currently about 10 past 11. 11. By the time we get ourselves sorted and leave, probably going to be about 20 past 11. So I'm running 20 minutes behind where I would prefer, but still a bit faster than average. I think at this pace, we will be kind of close, but we might be able to do it. In the car, I know I'll have like a rest, but honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to recover to the point I was this morning. I know that Skyfield Pike is shorter and it's not as high. I think it's about 980 meters. Ben Nevis is what, 1,300 and something, right? But I have heard that Skyfield Pike has the most difficult route, like it's the most demanding. So we shall have to see how we go with that. I've never even started Skyfield Pike before. That one I think is going to be the most challenging, although the conditions for Snowdon look appalling. So I think that's going to be the decider. Okay, I did just try running a little bit for this flat bit near the end, and running is now out of the question. All I can manage from now is a hefty plod. Just started jogging down that bit and my knees were like, you what, mate? Are you serious? I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, finished, by the way. There we are. Car to car, that was 4 hours and 20 minutes. Oh, dude. Oh no, 5 hours and 20 minutes. Sorry, that's not bad. 4 hours and 20 minutes. I've been laughing, mate. All right, you go in there. We feel that. That's a better way of doing it. I thought of getting one of those giant, like, 5-litre bottles, but that would have been a lot more fiddly. Oh, come here, you. I've got another pair of socks. I've also got the shoes, not that they're particularly wet. These curious little contraption, which are like a beanbag full of absorbent things that go in the shoes, and then that'll dry them, sure. You get there as well. And away we go. Now, arrival time has given us 20 past 5, so it's going to be a good 5:45, I think. Oh, I don't know if we're going to... Oh, okay, let's just go. After passing back through Glencoe and driving under some heavy rain, I hit dense traffic going out of Glasgow, which added about half an hour onto the trip. Just bad RNG, that's all it is. Before long, I crossed back into England where the sun was shining and I was able to relax and enjoy the road trip aspect of the challenge. The miles melted away and I was treated to a gorgeous drive along the side of Wast Water, watching out for nomadic sheep as I approached the Wasdale Lakehead car park, where my climb of Skyfield Pike would begin. Alright, let's get it. I think we can get this done and back and bring ourselves in line with the minimum time. Oh, here we go. This is where the trail starts. Skyfield Pike, it's only 2.5 miles away, but again, shortest hike, lowest mountain, but I hear most difficult. Let's get going. This ain't too bad. It's like this one way up. Job's a good one. Here we go. That's where we get the feet wet. I can pick out like not the worst, not totally submerged, but already we's getting a bit wet. You know what? Not too bad, actually. Not terrible. Okay, that's not too bad. Hiya. Oh, hey.
Confused me. I thought you were wearing flip-flops for some reason.
No.
Slightly skin coloured. I was like, whoa.
Kinda, yeah, that's it, yeah. That'd be pretty intense. Yeah, oh, cheers, thank you. Flip-flops. The ascent of Skyfield Pike is pretty straightforward most of the way up. Only the top 10% or so becoming a bit of a struggle. Oh, dude, it's gorgeous up here. Anyway, let's get to this summit. Probably going to be, damn son, it's going to be 2 hours from the bottom to the top, which is bang on average. I'm slowing down. I'm at the point now where I'll have to decide on the way down what the cutoff is for Snowdon. I need to double check the forecast. Dude, I do not know where the whole Skyfield Pike's the hardest of the three. This is by far the easiest. It was a while ago that I'd done Snowdon, but from what I remember, it was probably about the same in terms of difficulty as Skyfield Pike, but obviously it takes longer because it's a longer route. Right, weather, how are we looking? Oh, it's not working. It's not having a signal. Maybe when we get right to the very top. But the way it's looking now, if the weather has changed and it's now a beautiful starry moonlit night, then we'll go for Snowdon. If it's the same, chucking it down with rain and thunderstorms, nah, bin it off, I reckon. But still, even if that's the case, whilst it is disappointing that I haven't been able to do all 3 peaks in 24 hours, I hadn't actually fully climbed Ben Nevis, nor had I done Skyfield Pike. And I've done both of them in one day, which is a pretty decent achievement. You know, I didn't realise how challenging the 3 peaks challenge actually was. You have to be extraordinarily fit. I mean, I could say, yeah, I lost a load of time with roadworks and traffic and all that, but the way around that is you just got to be faster on the mountains. And what, 7-8 years ago, I absolutely would have been, but no longer. I'm a fair bit older and a lot heavier. It's like I'm dragging an extra 20 kilos up the mountains with me. What's this? 40,000 steps, look at that. So I started from the car at 5:53. So if I get to the top by 7:53, no prizes, working out that's exactly 2 hours. So I am spot on the average climb time, which is okay, you know, it shows a moderate level of fitness. However, I need to be quicker than the average, because like I said, the average climb time and the minimum drive time combined is 26 hours. So climbing the mountains, you need to save at least 2 hours if you want to do all 3 peaks in 24. That being said, here's number 2. Now, is this doing me? Oh, damn me! Oh, Christ. Yep, this must be the top. This is the what, the trigger point, right? That's what that is. Wow! Look at that scenery. Number 2. I don't think we'll do number 3, but still, first time climbing Nevis and Scarfell in the same day, and I'm pleased with that. In that case, then I can spend a little bit more time at the peak. Oh, hang on. What's the time? 1948. So 1 hour 55 minutes. Yeah, no shot. Hang on, let me get a picture real quick. So, what have we got in here then? What is this? Oh wow. Oh, this feels kind of special. Now, this is the platform. Surely the highest point. Huh? Absolutely gorgeous. I definitely recommend this climb. It's easy, bro. Alright then, Scarfell Pike done. Snowden, I'll have to do you again next time. Alright then, back down we go. Descending Scarfell Pike proved for me much more difficult than descending Ben Nevis. I was losing confidence in the strength of my legs, each step taking more consideration than the last. But on the way down, I was still kind of wrestling with the idea of should I try and do Snowden as well, but rumble in the distance helped me make up my mind. Weather systems on mountains are notoriously unpredictable. Did you hear that thunder? Yeah, I think that was an omen, dude. Nah, we're not doing Snowden, screw that. I decided to demonstrate my aversion to hiking in the rain with my choice of footwear. It's hard to sort of tell. I'm just rubbing my foot on the ground, so it's gonna look slippery anyway, but I don't need to put much weight on it at all for it to slide, right? See? Oh, I actually almost fell over there. Alright, you see my point? It had gotten dark by the time I returned to my car, my bastion of comfort and freedom in the Cumbrian wilderness. I cancelled my £20 parking ticket for Penny Pass to mark the challenge as officially over and retreated into the night. There's something about an enormous body of water at dusk. Just looking at this has made me think of it, where you can see the reflections, but other than that, the water is just dark, right? Like, look out here. You can see the shade of the water. It's like reflecting the sky, right? But the reflections of the trees and the rocks are just pitch black. Very spooky. I like it, but it does give me the heebie-jeebies. I began the drive home. Stopping at services along the way reassured me that I'd made the correct decision. Pay attention to this. This is my reality right now. Not good, is it? It's not great.